Wait a minute, something going wrong. Someone's on the phone, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, talking about how she can make it right. Yeah, happiness is when you really feel good with somebody. There's nothing wrong being in love with someone. Yeah. Oh baby, love that I happiness. Love happiness. Oh. Together, each other, walk away with victory. Oh baby, love and happiness. Oh, love and happiness. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Make you do right, and love will make you do wrong, and make you come early, make you stay out all night long. Wait a minute.
Minnesota, how you guys doing today? Isn't this amazing? How Minnesotan are we today? Come on, this is like a snow globe. We got snow, big announcement. Make some noise if you're happy here today. My name is William. I'm going to be your host and MC today. I'm so happy to be part of this. Such a great day for Minnesota. If you're with me, one more time, I need to make sure you're with me. Make some noise right now. Make some noise for Amy. That's why we're here today, for the big announcement. So, like I said, my name is William with Generation Now Entertainment. We got DJ Dudley D on the ones and twos. Make some noise for DJ Dudley D. We got some campfires going. We got a warming house. And also we got some hot chocolate, some hot cider, so make sure you grab some. And one more time, make some noise for Amy and Minnesota! We're gonna keep you warm, we're gonna keep you guys ready for the big announcement, but at the same time, feel free to dance, and let's have some fun, all right? You guys with me? Minnesota, I said, are you with me? All right, DJ Dudley T, let's get these guys warmed up, come on.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, something without wanting love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I can do, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be another day. When the day that lies ahead seemed impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I get you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be another day. So you're on 1, 2, 1, 2. That needs to come way up. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. 1, 2, 1, 2. About twice and over there. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, test check. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Need about double that. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep going. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Test check. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. You got some more? 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Is this your number one? Okay, I'm moving. 1, 2. This will be our minimum. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hey, what's up, everybody? We'll mix in a sound check with a little bit of support. Everybody say all the way with Amy K. All right.
Let me find the...
You like that? All right, one more time. We'll do it again. All the way with Amy K. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's better than 1, 2, isn't it?
Is yours low or too high?
Let's flip it.
It's low.
Amy K. All the way.
It's low and
Yeah, Minnesota got soul. I like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Like I'm peeking at
Those flashcards didn't work for me. 1, 2, 1, 2. All the way with Amy Kay. Instead of 1, 2, let's do something different. Superstar. Klobuchar. I like that one. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you for putting up with sound check and for helping out. Give yourself some love.
Pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only, hey, come on.
Minnesota! Are you guys staying warm? I feel like we gotta keep moving now. We gotta stay warm, guys. If you're just joining us, welcome to the big announcement for Amy. Make some noise for Amy, Cat! My name is Wanya. I'm gonna be your host throughout the day. We're looking forward to it. We got so much going on here. We got Sons of Blackness. Yeah, that's right. Once again, remember we got some hot chocolate, some hot cider, so make sure you grab some and keep warm, Minnesota. If you're from Minneapolis, make some noise. St. Paul, you here today? If you're from Duluth, make some noise. Nobody from Duluth? A couple people? Yeah? Oh, I see you guys. That's right. If you're from Cottage Grove, make some noise. No, nobody from Cottage Grove. Okay. That's cool. Well, I want to make sure you guys are good. I'm gonna keep keeping you warm throughout the day, okay? So Minnesota, one more time, make some noise for Amy. Make some noise for Minnesota. Make some noise for Minnesota. Come on, Minnesota, sing it. What? Not in Minnesota. I know you know the words. Someone holding an AMY sign. Oh, there you are, there you are. Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. We support Amy. I see you. Amy for what? I see you at the back. I'm not going to say it, but I see you. How you guys feeling out there? You guys good? You staying warm? All right. Oh, yeah, fun fact. Our DJ here, DJ Dudley T. Make some noise for DJ Dudley T. Fun fact about DJ Dudley T. Dudley T used to tour with Chris as his DJ. So make some noise. How Minnesota can we get today? He's gonna make sure that you guys are keeping warm and keeping the groove on. I see you guys dancing there. Yeah, Pulled North, I love that. So once again, make sure you get some hot chocolate, some hot cider, because it is a little cold out here today. And then we also have some campfires and also a warming house. So make sure you go to check that out. If you're here for Amy, make some noise, Minnesota. Minneapolis, make some noise. St. Paul, make some noise. Yes. All right, Rochester, Minnesota, make some noise. Anybody from Rochester? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna keep naming cities. I want to see how many cities we have here today. All right. So one more time, like I said, make some noise. DJ WD. Let's turn up. Let's go. If you're with me, come on, let's dance, guys. Come on. Hey. Let's dance for Andy, guys. Come on. And try to release that pressure. Get up off that thing and shake till you feel better. Get up off that thing and try to release that pressure. Get up off that thing and dance till you feel better. Get up off that thing and dance till you sing now. Get up off that thing and dance till you feel better. Get up off that thing and try to release that pressure. Get up off that thing and shake till you feel better. Get up off that thing and shake till you sing now. Get up off that thing and shake till you feel better. Get up off that thing and try to release that pressure. Get up off. Good God. So good. Everybody ready? Follow me. Get up off that thing and shake till you feel better. Get up off that thing and shake till you sing now. Get up off that thing and shake till you feel better. Get up off that thing and try to release that pressure. Get up off that thing and push till you feel better. Get up off that thing and shake till you sing now. Get up off that thing and shake till you feel better. Get up off that thing and try to release that pressure.
Hey, Joe. What just happened?
I'm wearing all my favorite brands. Give me some space for both my hands. Yeah, cause it goes on and on and on. And it goes on and on and on. Yeah, I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, hey, oh, gotta let go. It's a
I just want to give a big shout out to all the people out here who's made this possible today. To all the people working behind stage, all the volunteers, the police officers here, everybody. Let's make some noise for them. Yeah, without them, this would not be happening today. So, if you're just coming, if you just showed up right now, make some noise. All right, who's here for Amy? I said, who's here for Amy? Minnesota, I don't think the state can hear you. I said, who's here for Amy? All right. We're going to be starting in a little bit, so keep yourself warm. And DJ Dudley D, let's turn this up. Hey, Amy. Oh, you see this right now? Minnesota, make some noise right now. I said, Minnesota, make some noise right now. Welcome, welcome. We're about to start the show in a couple minutes. If you're just joining us, make some noise for yourself right now. Minneapolis, are you here today? St. Paul, are you here today? Waseca, Minnesota, are you here today? Okay, there's one person. There you go. All right. Boy, St. Paul, you in the house today. Okay, make sure you grab some hot cider, some hot chocolate as well. We got some campfire, we got warming house. I want to make sure you guys stay warm for this big announcement. Make some noise for Amy. Minnesota, I'm going to say this one more time. I said make some noise for Amy. That's right, that's right. Amy is here today for the big announcement. Keep warm, and let's get this party started, Minnesota. Let's go, DJ WD.
DJ Dudley D.
For Prince one more time, Minnesota. Oh, for real, Prince. Come on. If you're fired up right now, I want you to scream. If you're fired up for Amy, make some noise, Minnesota. Guys, quick second. Why don't you turn around and say hi to the cameras behind you right there? Minnesota, make some noise. Yeah, make some noise for the cameras right there. Yeah. All right, quick announcement. If I can have all still photographers, please meet at the warming house right away. All still photographers meet at the warming house right away. DJ Dudley D, how you doing over there? Are you ready to turn us up for Amy? Let's go, come on. Minnesota, let's get this party started. Are you fired up? Because I am. All right. If I could have everybody on this side just take 3 steps to the left here. We just want to make sure that everybody can get in. Everybody on this side. Yeah, that's right, Minnesota. Yep. To the left, to the left, to the left. That's right. Come on. We're going to Cupid shuffle it to the left. Come on. That's right. We want to make sure everybody gets in. Isn't this such beautiful weather? Isn't this a beautiful weather out there? What a way to have a big announcement. This is only the Minnesota way. I love it. If you're proud to be from Minnesota, make some noise.
And I'd hate to see you waiting. Shooting for the stars, but I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have the time, but I always had a vision. Always had high hopes. Never had high hopes for a living. Didn't know how, but I always had a feeling. I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of our colors by the AmVets Post 5 from St. Paul, Minnesota. Please give a big welcome to Minnesota's own 3-time Grammy Award winning Sounds of Blackness to perform the national anthem.
Thank you.
the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rammed bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, make us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
One more time, Minnesota. Please give a big welcome. Minnesota's own three-time Grammy Award-winning Sounds of Blackness.
All right, Assistant Commissioner.
One, two. Everybody say all the way.
all the way
With Amy K.
with Amy K.
All the way
All the way
with Amy K.
with Amy K.
Klobuchar
Klobuchar
Superstar.
Superstar.
One more time for Sounds of Blackness, Minnesota. Please welcome to the stage Rabbi Masha Zimmerman.
All right, there we go. No snow is going to stop us from turning out today. We're Minnesotans. We're tough. We're strong. And you know who else is strong? There you go, Amy. But I was sort of thinking of some women way back in time. Women who stepped up in history when we needed it the most. And I'm talking about the matriarchs. I'm talking about the women like Eve. Eve. What did Eve do? She ate from the tree of knowledge so that we could have wisdom and we could look for the information that's important to us. I'm talking about the women like Miriam. Miriam, who led the Israelites through the parted sea And what did she do? She took up her timbrel and she danced. She celebrated the triumph of survival, the triumph of what it meant to hear a voice. I'm talking about Hannah in the book of Samuel, who was the first person to pray to God, to pray for something she needed and longed for. She was a woman who we look at, and I remember Yael. Yael was a warrior. Just read the book of Judges. You're going to see that Yael was a warrior. And Deborah, the judge, she helped Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, Zipporah, the women of the 5 books of Moses. They always stepped up when they were needed. And we are the inheritors of the strength of women, for those of us of all genders. We receive the wisdom. We receive the wisdom of taking the chance and eating the fruit from the tree of knowledge. We're the recipients of dancing in this reality when there's a hurdle in our way. We're the recipients of finding the words of prayer when we need them. And we're the recipients of a warrior and a judge. Long before Hoover told us to plug in a vacuum, that was supposed to be funny. Women throughout history have stepped into a power vacuum and led us in times of need, in times of when we felt the most stressed. And so we offer this prayer to a woman who's stepping up in our time of need. May she be a warrior. May she judge in times of difficulty, helping us, creating a path for a better tomorrow for our children and our grandchildren. May she feel the blessing in this moment as we feel blessed. And we hear the words that are in the 5 books of Moses, Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May God bless us and may God keep us. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yechuneka. May God's light shine upon us and be gracious unto us. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's light be upon us, and may God grant all of us the most precious gifts, the gifts of wholeness inside, a world of wholeness, and a world of peace. Amen.
One more time, Minnesota, for Rabbi Moshe Zimmerman. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Fire and Ice Drumline, a collaboration with Patrick Henry and Minneapolis North High Schools. Minnesota one more time for the Fire and Ice drum line. A collaboration with Patrick Henry and the Minneapolis North High Schools. Minnesota, are you still with me? Are you with AB? Make some noise, Minnesota. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Please welcome Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board Vice President, Commissioner A.K. Hassan.
Hi everyone! I am A.K. Hassan, Vice President of Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board. And I'm here to welcome you along with my beautiful wife, who's somewhere in there, on this beautiful day on Boom Island. We are proud of our parks, our lakes, and our rivers here in Minneapolis. Home to the nation's best park system in the country. I went into local government to make a difference for everyone. Well, Amy's first campaign was also local government. And she made history then too. When she ran for Hennepin County Attorney, no woman had ever held the job before. Guess what? What some people say? No, she can't win. It's tough for her. Well, she did win. And she was tough enough, and through Amy's hard work, and then and now, she has made a difference for everyone in the whole country and around the world. So thank you for coming out on this beautiful day and enjoying this our beautiful parks. Make sure you get out and enjoy our beautiful parks, okay? Enjoy, guys. Have a wonderful day. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Please welcome Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, Duluth Mayor Emily Larson, and Moorhead Mayor Jonathan Judd.
Well, how you doing there, Minneapolis, Minnesota? Welcome to the North. Welcome to Minneapolis, and for those who are watching from around the country, you know, here in Minnesota, here in Minneapolis, we don't let a little adversity get to us. No, we do not. The snow, bring it on. The ice, bring it on. We lock arms, we warm each other up, and we continue that march towards progress together. That's what we do in Minneapolis, the biggest city in the state known for voter turnout, #1 in the entire country. Best park system in the entire country, the home of Prince. And by the way, the perfect place to launch a campaign to take back the White House for the entire United States of America. She is the senator next door, and for me, I mean that quite literally, because she lives just a few blocks away. This campaign is a homegrown one based right here in Minnesota. And Amy, you know, she learned politics the Minnesota way. It isn't about having a big machine or big money. It's about neighbors talking to neighbors about ideas that quite simply improve people's lives. And so, from the middle of this country and on the banks of the Mississippi River, we're going to talk to our friends, we're going to talk to our neighbors until we reach the whole entire nation to tell them about our Senator, Amy Klobuchar. Amy is honest, Amy is optimistic, and here's the real thing. Amy gets the job done. She looks you in the eye and she tells you the truth. Thank you so much for being here today, and I have the great honor of introducing a colleague a wonderful mayor from the city of Duluth, Mayor Emily Larson, everybody.
Okay, well, hello everybody. You look beautiful. Thank you, Mayor Fry, for welcoming me. Thank you for welcoming all of us to this incredible city, to this incredible day. I am here from greatest Minnesota. My name is Emily Larson. I am the mayor of Duluth, and today is the kind of day we call a perfect Duluth day. We also could call it spring or summer. Duluth is a working city. We are a port city, a proud labor city on the Great Lakes that helped to build this country that still powers our economy and our world. We ship the taconite to forge American steel, the grain to feed our world, and we brew a pretty good beer too. Now, some politicians, some pundits, they look at parts of our beautiful country, our Midwest area, and they put us down, saying the best is behind us. That's right. They look at our proud history and they use it to divide us. But we know that across the Great Lakes, from Cleveland to Milwaukee, the story of Duluth, of innovation, of entrepreneurship and hard work is thriving. And Amy knows that too. She doesn't see a struggle and lose interest. She sees potential and she gets to work. That is the true reason for optimism about the future of this country, a future for every single one of us. That's why Amy goes to all 87 Minnesota counties every single year. She doesn't, that's right, and she doesn't just go when it's comfortable. She's there when it's snowing, when there's a blizzard, when the water's rising, when the plant loses a shift, not just for the ribbon cuttings, but for all of it. Amy understands that the Midwest is the beating heart of America, and she is ready to take her work not just from every corner of the state, but to every corner of this country. Our Amy is a real leader. She is honest. She is optimistic. She knows the value of work. Are you ready to work with her? She knows the Democratic Party shouldn't and can't leave anyone behind. That's why we're here today. Join me in welcoming my new colleague in Moorhead, Mayor Jonathan Judd.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Larson. My name is Jonathan Judd, and I am the mayor of Moorhead, Minnesota, home of the Moorhead Spuds. And for the national folks, Moorhead is a growing city of 43,000 people just across the river from Fargo, North Dakota. Moorhead sits on the Red River, surrounded by spring wheat and sugar beets, corn and soybeans, home to companies that reach across the globe, and prairie populists who helped launch the movement that put farmers and workers ahead of the big companies and monopolies of their day. That spirit still resonates and lives on in our rural communities and towns across America.
That's right.
We want an economy that invests in every town. We want nationwide rural broadband, strong infrastructure. We want a leader more focused on getting things done for our towns and our cities across America.
That's right.
That, my friends, is Amy Klobuchar.
That's right.
She is always there doing the work. She does not just go to every Minnesota county every year. She makes a difference when she is there.
That's right.
That is why Amy won rural counties across Minnesota last year, including 42 that voted for President Trump in 2016. Amy listens. She works hard. She makes the tough calls and comes up with creative solutions. She speaks for all of us in the heartland. Thank you all for attending this event for Amy today, and have a blessed day. Thank you very much.
One more time for Mayor Jacob Frey, Mayor Emily Larson, and Mayor Jonathan Judd. Please welcome to the stage Senator Tina Smith.
Wow, thank you. So, the rest of America thinks that it's cold here in Minnesota today, but we know this is a heat wave. I barely need my long underwear. It's so warm. So just a quick question. How many of you are wearing shorts? Please raise your hand. Yes, I see a few. I want to start by recognizing Amy and my Minnesota partners in Congress who are with us today. Can you join me in welcoming the elected majority makers, Representative Angie Craig, Dean Phillips, and Ilhan Omar. And I understand that somewhere in this beautiful crowd is our state auditor, Julie Blaha. Give it up for Julie Blaha. So I'm here today for one reason. I've known Amy Klobuchar, our senator, for decades, as a friend, a colleague, and a fighter. Amy is my friend. Amy and John joined me and Archie to celebrate our children's weddings, and she was there when I lost my mother to Alzheimer's. Before I ever held office, I worked at Planned Parenthood. And all of us at Planned Parenthood knew that Amy stood with us shoulder to shoulder. She has always been Minnesota's champion. And us Minnesotans of the bold North have seen Amy's work up close. We know about her judgment, her capacity to hold her principles close while finding common ground to get things done. We know that she is one of the most effective senators in the country. Ranked #1 for getting bills across the finish line and signed into law. And, you know, despite the gridlock and grandstanding, Amy finds a way to fight through the politics of division and get big things done for people. This is because she's guided by the simple proposition, said best by Paul Wellstone, that politics should be about improving people's lives. In just this past year, Amy has passed bills that improved school safety. They made improvements in policies for sexual harassment in Congress and strengthened the integrity of our elections. Now, Minnesotans in the red counties, the blue counties, and all the counties in between know that Amy, she shows up. She listens and she delivers for people because she knows that's what her job is. Amy chases after results, not sound bites. She focuses on people, not politics. And if you are ready to elect a new president, I can tell you she knows how to win. And now, Minnesota, we get to share our senator next door with the rest of the country. America, you are going to get to know the Amy that we know, the smart and funny woman who doesn't take herself too seriously. They see, they're laughing. That's that you know. You can, yeah. You will see her heart and her optimistic vision for a country that works for everyone. And you will see that she has the tenacity of a prosecutor who fights for people without fear or favor. And did not America get a preview of Amy's strength during the Supreme Court hearings? Amy started by recalling her own father's struggles with alcoholism. And then, with dignity and clarity and effectiveness, she honed in on the key question that she and our entire country were grappling with: the truthfulness of this nominee and his fitness to serve on the highest court in our land. And he failed this test. But Amy showed that the rule of law should still matter. And as she said, the Constitution does not say we, the ruling party. It says we, the people. And that is Amy, the next president of the United States. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sending Amy off. Thank you.
Minnesota, make some noise for Senator Tina Smith. Please welcome to the stage Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan and Governor Tim Walz.
All right. Wow. Oh, this is exciting. What a beautiful day. Hi, everybody. My name is Peggy Flanagan, and I am really proud to be your Lieutenant Governor. And I am proud to be the highest-ranking Native American woman elected to executive office in the country. And, you know, here in Minnesota, we love Prince. Is that right? Absolutely. So, you know, when the stage manager called Prince right before his halftime show in the Super Bowl, he's like, there's going to be a little rain. And he said, can you make it rain harder? Yeah. And here's the deal, y'all. Can we make it snow harder? Yeah. So what a better place to honor the past, to look ahead and launch a national campaign to bring some respect, some civility, some decency, and a lot more honesty to politics. You know, and Amy knows how to find higher ground. And the way that we find that higher ground and we rise above is to find common ground. It's working across lines of difference to do good for people, and our senator and our next president is ready to do that work. You know, my journey into politics began when one of our brightest, most brilliant stars left us. And I learned from Senator Paul Wellstones, who, that's right, you can give it up for Paul. And Sheila, that's right. That's right, you can give it up for Paul and Sheila. And his last campaign, their last campaign was my first. And I learned, and I know that Amy knows, that we all do better when we all do better. That's right. That means all of us, every single one. Every person from the heartland to the deep south. And that's Amy's call to, is to leave no one behind. So here's what I know. I am proud to be Minnesotan. Yeah. And I know that you all are too. And that when Amy Klobuchar is announcing her campaign today, that we are showcasing what we do well in Minnesota, which is we are not intimidated by a little snow. We are not intimidated by Donald Trump. Yeah. And we are going to ensure that everyone across this country knows what we know, that Amy is ready to serve, to bring us together, to work together to make sure that everyone in this country has an opportunity to thrive. So, with that, this is, you know, we get to tag team. And it is an absolute pleasure to be able to serve in the executive office with our incredible governor. And it is my great pleasure to introduce
Well, welcome to Minnesota, people. North Star State, headwaters of the Mississippi River, and the warm beating heart of the heartland. The mayor's and everybody else is right that the rest of the country's realizing this. Did you think we would miss an opportunity after it was 70 below last week to miss these balmy temperatures and gather for a party? After all, this is the state that pioneered open heart surgery, invented Scotch tape, and then on the weekend when we had a little time, we invented water skiing, for goodness sake. We're a state of innovators, and we don't fear the future. We create the future here. Nobody knows that better than Amy Klobuchar, that when we decide to come together and tackle the toughest problems that we have, not only do we tackle them, we bring everybody else along with us. It's time for us to put a leader in the White House who understands that we are stronger together and our best days lie ahead of us. Now, I think we're going to ask a lot of work out of you. We're going to get out there and introduce Amy Klobuchar to the rest of the country. But you know what? They got their introduction, and Senator Smith was right. During the Kavanaugh hearings, the rest of the country saw what we already knew here. We had someone who was smart, tough, and decent as our United States Senator. And I don't know about you, but when I turned on that TV and watched that hearing, I was so damn proud she was our senator. Aren't you ready to be proud of your leaders again? Aren't you ready to have a president who will look you in the eye and tell you the truth? Aren't you ready for a leader who is more focused on delivering health care for people and making the economy work for everyone, rather than focusing on put-downs and shutdowns and Twitter? We're ready to tackle climate change. We're ready to tackle voting rights. All of those things are coming. But you know that it all depends on the next election. We've got the opportunity to replace chaos with courage. That's right. And I can tell you, as someone who's ran some pretty tough elections in southern Minnesota's rural 1st District, there is nobody you want on the ballot more than Amy Klobuchar. Because let's just call it what it is. You all know this. We must win. We have to win this next election. And all Amy Klobuchar does is win. So this is our time, everyone. I am so proud. Yes. Amy, 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 Amy. There's more people here than when they're on the National Mall for that inauguration, by the way. I've seen it. I couldn't help it. So you know what we do best here. We stand tall, we innovate, we stand with our neighbors. And the one thing we're known for is our Minnesota nice and our hospitality. So please join me in giving a warm, true north welcome to our senator, our friend, and this nation's next president, Amy Klobuchar.
we don't let a little snow stop us. We don't let a little cold stop us. Like, are you guys even cold? Tell the truth. Okay. Now, when I said that elected leaders should go not just where it's comfortable, but also where it's uncomfortable, this is what I meant. Now, John and I want to first thank our amazing and incredible team and staff for putting this together. Unbelievable. Also, the city of Minneapolis Parks, thank you. All the incredible people that turned out. My friends Tina Smith and Governor Walz, Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, highest ranking Native American state official in our nation. Our congressional delegation, thank you. Mayors, commissioners, legislators. Oh, I forgot, my dad, who's 90 years old. And you always want to thank your in-laws. Bill and Marilyn from Mankato. Thank you, Dudley D., who traveled with Prince for so many years, for being here. Hey, if Prince could do that halftime show in all that rain, I can do this in this snow. Sounds of Blackness, thank you. Rabbi Zimmerman. Thank you, friends from across the country. This is why we live here. Thank you, Greater Minnesota. Thank you, our suburbs, and thank you, the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul. We are gathered here today on this beautiful Mississippi River, America's great river, running straight through the middle of our country, through the heartland. It takes its name from the Native American word for the father of waters. It starts small up north. And like so many of you as a kid, I got the thrill of going up there and claiming that I jumped clear over the Mississippi River. It then gets wider as it flows down here to the Twin Cities and then to Wisconsin, where my mom was born, and then down to Iowa, a place where we in Minnesota like to go south for the winter, or at least I do, and then to Illinois, a state that boasts a lot of extraordinary presidents, from Abraham Lincoln to Barack Obama. Then that river meanders down to St. Louis. Well, you'll find a big arch, a gateway that honors our country's pioneers. Onwards to Kentucky and Memphis, Tennessee, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. went one April day to join sanitation workers fighting for dignity, where he preached about the mountaintop and how he'd seen the promised land. And then to Arkansas and Mississippi, all the way down to New Orleans, where the spirit of resilience abounds. The Mississippi River, all our rivers, they connect us to one another, to our shared story. For this is how our country was founded, with patriots who saw more that united them than divided them. And this is how this city, the Mill City, and our country prospered, right along this river, and our nation's railways and roads, grounded in the common belief that prosperity shared leads to better lives for all. And this is how we became the world's beacon of democracy, one in which everyone matters. We start in this place, where about a mile downriver on a beautiful summer day, a big bridge collapsed into this river. I said on that day that a bridge just shouldn't fall down in the middle of America. Not one of the busiest bridges in our state, not a bridge just a few blocks from our home, where John and Abigail and I drove over nearly every day. But it happened. And suddenly the eyes of the nation were on our state. And that day, America saw in a very visceral way that everyone matters, everyone. They saw it in that off-duty firefighter who dove into the murky water over and over again, looking through those cars and trucks submerged for survivors. They saw it in the story of Paul Ekstead, the semi-truck driver who sacrificed his own life by veering off the road to save a school bus full of kids. They saw it in the school staff member, Jeremy Hernandez, who rescued each and every kid on that miracle school bus as it hung precariously next to a guardrail after plummeting 30 feet. Later, we worked across the aisle to get the federal funding, and we rebuilt that I-35W bridge in just over a year. That's community. That's a shared story. That's ordinary people doing extraordinary things. But my friends, that sense of community is fracturing across our nation right now, worn down by the petty and vicious nature of our politics. We are tired of the shutdowns and the showdowns, of the gridlock and the grandstanding. Today, on this snowy day on this island, we say, enough is enough. Our nation must be governed not from chaos, but from opportunity, not by wallowing over what's wrong, but by marching inexorably toward what's right. And it has to start with all of us. My family story is like so many of yours. On both my mom and my dad's side, they arrived in this country with nothing but a suitcase. But they made a home here. It was cold. Okay, maybe not as cold as this. They didn't know anyone, but like so many immigrants, they wanted a better life for their families. My grandpa worked 1,500 feet underground in the mines up north on the Iron Range. He never graduated from high school. He saved money in a coffee can in the basement to send my dad to college. My dad, who's here at age 90, got a 2-year degree from Vermillion Junior College and then finished up at the great University of Minnesota. He became a journalist. As a young, thank you, person cheering. As a young Associated Press reporter, he called the 1960 presidential race for John F. Kennedy. He covered the 1968 conventions. He interviewed everyone from Mike Ditka to Hubert Humphrey to Ronald Reagan to Ginger Rogers. Freedom of the press wasn't some abstract idea to my dad. He embraced it. He lived it. My mom, a proud union member, taught second grade in the suburbs until she was 70 years old. Her students, now grown, still come up to me on the street and tell me she was their favorite teacher. So today, on an island in the middle of the mighty Mississippi, in our nation's heartland, at a time when we must heal the heart of our democracy and renew our commitment to the common good, I stand before you as the granddaughter of an iron ore miner, as the daughter of a teacher and a newspaper man, as the first woman elected to the United States Senate from the state of Minnesota, to announce my candidacy for President of the United States. I am running for this job for every person who wants their work recognized and rewarded. I am running for every parent who wants a better world for their kids. I'm running for every student who wants a good education. For every senior who wants affordable prescription drugs. For every worker, farmer, dreamer, and builder. I am running for every American. I am running for you. And I promise you this, as your president, I will look you in the eye. I will tell you what I think. I will focus on getting things done. That's what I've done my whole life. And no matter what, I'll lead from the heart. Okay, let me be blunt. For too long, leaders in Washington have sat on the sidelines while others tried to figure out what to do about the changing economy and its impact on our lives. What to do about the disruptive nature of new technologies, income inequality, the political and geographic divides, the changing climate, the tumult in our world. For a moment, let's stop seeing those obstacles as obstacles on our path. Did we view the snow as an obstacle? No, we did not. Let's see those obstacles as our path. This is what I mean. There are insidious forces every day that are trying to make it harder for people to vote, trying to drown out our voices with big money. It is time to organize, time to galvanize, time to take back our democracy. It's time, America. Time to pass a constitutional amendment to overturn Citizens United and get the dark money out of our politics. It is time to stop discriminatory actions by restoring the Voting Rights Act. It is time to pass my bill to automatically register every young person to vote when they turn 18. You see, the obstacles that they're throwing at us with big money and limits on voting, they're obstacles, but they're also our path. They are how, as Paul Wellstone would tell us, they are how we organize. Here is another one, climate change. The people are on our side when it comes to climate change. Why? Because like you and I, they believe in science. That's why in the first 100 days of my administration, I will reinstate the clean power rules and the gas mileage standards and put forth sweeping legislation to invest in green jobs and infrastructure. And on day one, we will rejoin the International Climate Agreement. The obstacles, they are our path. Here's another challenge. Way too many politicians have their heads stuck in the sand when it comes to the digital revolution. Hey guys, it's not just coming, it's here. And if you don't know the difference between a hack and slack, it's time to pull off the digital highway. What would I do? What would I do as president? We need to put some digital rules of the road into law when it comes to people's privacy. For too long, the big tech companies have been telling you, don't worry, we've got your back. While your identities, in fact, are being stolen and your data is being mined. Our laws need to be as sophisticated as the people who are breaking them. We must revamp our nation's cybersecurity and guarantee net neutrality for all. And we need to end the digital divide by pledging to connect every household to the internet by 2022, and that means you, rural America. I mean, come on, if they can do it in Iceland, We can do it here. We need to train our workers today for the jobs of tomorrow and strengthen our economy by planning ahead. That means respecting and recognizing educational certifications and two-year degrees and making it easier for people to get them. And yes, that means comprehensive immigration reform. It is time, America. And by the way, we should close those tax loopholes designed by and for the wealthy and bring down our debt and make it easier for workers to afford childcare, housing, and education. That is what I mean by shared prosperity. But we can't get there if people can't afford their health care. And that means getting to universal health care and bringing down the cost of prescription drugs. Last week, my guest to the State of the Union, who is here with us today, was Nicole Smith Holt. Nicole's son, Alec, a 26-year-old restaurant manager from the southern suburbs, aged off his parents' health insurance. 3 days short of his payday, Alec, a diabetic, wasn't able to afford his insulin. He tried rationing it to save money. It didn't work, and he died. This disgrace should never happen in the United States of America. Not with a simple drug that's been around for nearly a century. The obstacle to change? The big pharma companies think they own Washington. Well, they don't own me, and they don't own Nicole. We are teaming up to pass meaningful legislation, to bring in competitive, safe drugs from other countries, to stop Big Pharma's practice of paying off generic companies to keep their products off the market. We're going to harness the negotiating power of 43 million seniors. That's a lot of negotiating power. And lift the ban on negotiating cheaper prices under Medicare for prescription drugs. I have always believed in doing my job without fear or favor. That's what I do as a senator, and that's what I did as a prosecutor. And that means not only convicting the guilty, but protecting the innocent. That's why I have and why I will always continue to advocate for criminal justice reform. That's why, in a state where we all value hunting and fishing and the great outdoors, I am not afraid to join the vast majority of Americans, including many gun owners, to stand up to the gun lobby and put universal background checks and common sense gun legislation into law. It is time, America. And a safer world isn't just about what we do here at home. Even if you want to isolate yourself from the rest of the world won't let you. International problems come banging at your door just as opportunities come knocking. We need to stand strong and consistently with our allies. We need to be clear in our purpose. We must respect our frontline troops, diplomats, and intelligence officers who are there every day risking their lives for us. They deserve better than foreign policy by tweet. And one last obstacle that we must overcome to move forward together. Stop the fear-mongering and stop the hate. We may come from different places. We may pray in different ways. We may look different and love different, but we all live in the same country of shared dreams. In Minnesota, we have the biggest Somali population in the country, and we are proud of that community. A few years ago, at the height of the angry rhetoric a Somali-American family of 4 went out to dinner right here in Minnesota. This guy walked by, he looked down at them and said, "You 4 go home. You go home to where you came from." And the little girl looked up at her mom, and she said, "Mom, I don't want to go home. You said we could eat out for dinner tonight. I don't want to eat dinner at home." You think of the innocent words of that little girl. She only knows one home, and that's our state. She only knows one home, and that's the United States of America. Walt Whitman, the great American poet, once wrote these words: "I hear America singing the varied carols I hear." For Whitman, those were the songs of the mechanics, the carpenters, the masons, the shoemakers, and those carols are still being sung today. They are now also the songs of our sisters and brothers, a chorus of different faiths, races, creeds, and ways of life. E pluribus unum, out of one, out of many, one. It is more than a motto, America. It is the North Star of our democracy. It is the North Star of our effort. I am asking you to join this campaign. It is a homegrown one. I don't know if you can even see our number because of the snow, but you can text Amy at 91990. I don't have a political machine. I don't come from money. But what I do have is this: I have grit. I have family, I have friends, I have neighbors, and I have all of you who are willing to come out in the middle of winter, all of you who took the time to watch us today from home, all of you who are willing to stand up and say people matter. I'm asking you not to look down and not to look away anymore. I'm asking you to look up, to look at each other, to look at the future before us. Let us rise to the occasion and meet the challenges of our day. Let us cross the river of our divides and walk across our sturdy bridge to higher ground. As one faith leader reminded me this week, to pursue the good, we must believe that good will prevail. I do believe it, and so do you. So let's join together as one nation, indivisible, under God, and pursue the good. Thank you, and God bless America.
Forget the bull in the china shop, there's a china doll in the bullpen. Walk with the switch, fire in the fist, biting at the bit, swinging every pitch, coach put me in like. Forget the bull in the china shop, there's a china doll in the bullpen. It's all in the wrist, 5 from the hip, talk a little, roll thick, hold quick, let's begin like. It's been assumed I'm soft or irrelevant, cause I refuse to downplay my intelligence. But in the room with thugs and rap veterans, why am I the only one who's acting like a gentleman? Good form, bad taste, pity what a